Hello, everybody. We're now live. Woo. Right, let's do this properly, actually. Hello and welcome to Roll for Gold, a charity Dungeons & Dragons live stream in aid of Macmillan Cancer Support. I'm your Dungeon Master and host, Sam, and I'm joined around the virtual tabletop with some very loud music by Adam, Laura, Nathaniel, and Daniela.
Hello.
Hey.
Yay. I've done a much better job of actually broadcasting the fact we're going live this time. So hey, let me just quickly tweet that we're live. There we go. Hyper professional. So yes, Adam's going to be back very shortly, hopefully. And oh, he's back. So things that have happened since last week. So people have leveled up. Everybody is now an amazingly, staggeringly high level of 4. Yay! Gained some new feats, improved some ability scores. Things shouldn't be as bad as they used to be, though, and people won't be dropping to 0 hit points as quickly. But it's still going to be fun. We're still going to have some close shaves, hopefully.
Oh dear.
We'll see how this goes. So this is most definitely going to have to. Yes, level 4 already. Everybody did start at level 3, so we've skipped quite a bit. So we are going to. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. This is happening far too much recently. So yes, you'll be able to see see the various ability scores on the slides that appear at the bottom of the stream. They'll be sliding along every now and again. You can see what people have changed, if you remember what people have done. And yeah, so that's it. I really was about to say something that was really deep and profound and really helpful, but I've forgotten what it was. So, oh yes, that's what it was. It's that this is going to be a slightly shorter stream because I have duties and responsibilities this evening. So I actually have to be a responsible big brother and make dinner and stuff. So, yes. So I suppose we had better just very quickly run those beautiful opening titles that I love so much. And then we'll do a quick recap and dive into today's session. Let's go. It's like you're watching Critical Role, isn't it? That super high quality intro graphic. Yes, that is original. Yes. Yes, right, recap. So, a lot of stuff happened last week. A lot of stuff. So, having discovered a dead body in the streets. Having discovered a body in the streets of Grossheim, the capital city of the Nexus Republic, our party was taken to the guards barracks where they were questioned. They finished their questioning and were released back out onto the streets to terrorize people with the advice to find themselves a lawyer. And so that's what they did. So we had an excellent session where they went and met a thin gentleman with long black hair, longish black hair, and a pair of very thin rectangular glasses, who looked very pale and very sickly, who had a terrible cough, called Benjamin Sachs, who agreed to help them in their case against the ministry, the government of the Nexus Republic. They then, having their suspicions, with Jaci noticing that the winged beastie that they chased through the streets had fled in the direction of Benjamin's offices and the like, and the fact that Charlie, their lovely landlady, seemed to know Charlie and he her. They decided to do a little bit of investigating. So whilst Jaci went off and learnt about the hypersexual incubi and succubi of the lower planes, who are shapeshifters and beguilers with a deadly kiss, Gabriel went off to trail Charlie and listen to her interview with Benjamin, having seen her the previous day in the guards' barracks, being questioned after they had been. There Gabriel discovered that that Benjamin and Charlie were in fact working together, and that they were responsible for the death of this tuxedoed man who they'd found dead, and that they had they had worked to frame a certain gentleman called Zebedee, a local wizard and shop owner. However, shortly after this, Gabriel was discovered in Benjamin's offices, despite being invisible, and thus, in a panic, used a very quick blast of magic missile to smash a window and fly out using his invisible but golden wings and fly away. He was not, however, pursued by a winged beastie, but did manage to spot that Charlie is a magic user, who Benjamin is very concerned about. And it was shortly after this, back at the Edgar Heights Hotel, Charlie's hotel, where Frederick works, where our party was just about to leave to go and meet with Zebedee to see who this gentleman is, who they have worked so hard, who the baddies have worked so hard to frame for such a gruesome murder. So, whilst you're walking through the streets of Grossheim, is there anything that you would like to do? Or are we just going to skip straight ahead?
Well, I think just skip ahead. I can't think of anything.
I think at the end of the last one, I expressed interest in going to see Zebedee.
Yeah, that's where I assumed you were heading.
We're on our way there.
Yeah. So I'm assuming there's nothing you want to do on the way there, or are you just going to go straight there?
Just go straight there, I think.
Okay. So you head your way through the streets, through the smog, watching the people in their fine afternoon dress. You hear a couple of whispers about the smashing of the window and the dead body and everything. Rumours are starting to spread through the city. You head your way through the streets, through the smog, and find yourself at it's a very strange building, actually. Let me just find my notes, because, professionalism, having notes about things is a good idea. First page, there we go. The shop that you find in front of you is a strange... I'm going to call it an oxymoron. It looks both incredibly run down, but also incredibly clean and tidy. There's no moss on the roof, no grass in the guttering. There's no soot on the or marks from the smog on the walls. But there's a hole in the roof that seems to be some sort of fire damage, but it seems to have been tidied up around the edges. There's no soot or anything. Looking in through the small windows, you can see that the interior is dark, with no lights on the inside, apart from just you occasionally see a flicker from deep within. You can see vaguely in the gloom of the inside of the building a labyrinth of shelves and things, and the sign in the window and on the door says that it is open. So, despite how empty it looks.
Well, I'll walk in and look for Zebedee.
Okay, so you're all there, are you?
I think so. Yep.
Okay. So you go inside, and again, there's this element of being run down, but clean. So there's no cobwebs in the windows. There's no dust anywhere that you can see in this very dark room. But it still has a neglected feel. There, right inside the doorway, is a small A-frame chalkboard on the floor that says, "Welcome. Please wait here for Chadwick. Chadwick will be with you shortly." As the door closes behind you, as you all come in, a bell above the door rings, and as it dies away, you can still hear it ringing off unseen metal objects and off vials and jars and things. You just hear this faint ringing. Then you see just through the bookshelves, you start seeing the flickering of a flame. Warm, you're assuming it's candlelight, and it slowly seems to be working towards you. You can see it on the ceiling of the room, and occasional flashes of the flame through the bookshelves and the shelves with products on. You can't see who's carrying it though. It slowly gets closer and closer to you, until finally it seems to be just about to come around to the bookshelf immediately beside you, and then it vanishes, before suddenly emerging beside you on the shelf, stepping through a small doorway in the back of the wood, comes a small humanoid figure made of wax, flame flickering on his head, his features smudged from the heat of the flame. He's currently holding a thimble over the flame to make sure it doesn't damage the wood. He kind of stands up and just dusts himself off slightly, and then he points down at the sign that says Chadwick, and then he jabs a thumb into his chest, and then waves at you. And you get the impression that what he's trying to communicate is, "Welcome to the shop. I'm Chadwick."
I'm gonna wave back.
He waves at you. Through a series of gestures, he says, how he kind of communicates the idea of, "How can I help you?"
Wait a second. Zebedee is the person who can value magical items, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna get out my portable hole. There's, I think it's called, like the black material.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him to, well, to value it for me.
Okay. He looks. The small wax figure Chadwick looks down at you and just kind of taps his chin ponderously for a second, resting on the thimble, and then shakes his head and is kind of saying. You get the impression he's saying he can't value it. I can't value this. But then he kind of he gets an idea and beckons you, kind of saying, "Follow me."
Okay.
And he holds the thimble back over his head and ducks back through the hole in the wood, and you can see his light emerge around the corner.
I'm going to cast the spell Light.
Okay, on who? On what? Because you have to cast it on something.
Can I cast it on go for Jaci?
She's going to cast it on Jaci. Okay.
You willingly let
If
me
this
cast
goes wrong, if I end up flying,
Okay, so yes.
Then we have a flying light.
So you cast light. Can you just click on that so we can see what that does exactly, and then roll a d20. And remember that with wild magic we've adjusted the rules slightly, so
It's a cantrip.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. Ignore me then. So I thought it was level 1. Whoopsie. Jaci. Suddenly, your scales begin to glow. Brighter and brighter and brighter until you're a shining light in this dark store, and you can see instantly lit up just all of these items, so potion vials and rings and medallions. You can see a long sword. You can see suits of armor stacked up, on mannequins against the walls, and just stacks of scrolls and things. There's even you can even see a rack of wands on one shelf. Was it Chadwick sticks his head back through the door and he kind of beckons you all again.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow him using Jaci as a light.
Okay.
So that we can see where we're going.
Wow.
Okay, so you make your way through the shop. Chadwick walking along all of the shelves and things, and occasionally hopping down. The music has stopped. Let's put that back on. He then, as you head deeper and deeper into the store, you start seeing and hearing the flickering of a hearth fire somewhere. So just a friendly home fire somewhere deep inside the shop, and you start seeing its warm light spreading outwards, and you can see, and Chadwick continues leading you through until you find yourself in the doorway to a small office. There you find yourself staring into the small office. Sorry, something on the screen distracted me for a second. So, looking into this small room, you can see. Well, first of all, you see the very small fireplace with fire crackling friendly in it. That's difficult to say. Against all of the walls, you can see stacked from floor to ceiling, just tightly wound scrolls, all of them sealed with a coloured ribbon and a bit of wax. They're just stacked floor to ceiling. Except for on one wall, where there you can see shelves covered in ingredients and materials, and then below it a rack for very dangerous and fine-looking tools made with mahogany and ebony and very high quality materials. And hunched below this, hunched over a below all this, hunched over a desk with a roll of parchment and a quill, you see an elderly human gentleman with wispy white hair, crooked pointed nose, and a pair of, from what you can see, very cracked spectacles. He's wearing what Jaci and maybe Gabriel as well would consider traditional clothing. He's wearing robes. He's wearing wizard's robes with long sleeves that droop to the floor. They are deep midnight blue with silver arcane markings all over them. Yeah, he doesn't pay any attention as you stand in the doorway, despite being this massive beacon of light. He's just hunched over, slowly drawing symbols, his tongue stuck out between his teeth. I don't want to do that. Yes, as you're stood in the doorway, who's at the front, by the way?
Yeah, it looks like me,
Okay.
followed by Jaci, because he's the light source.
Okay. So.
I'll be at the back because I always lead everyone. Or let everyone through the doors.
Okay. So you watch as walking down the line. Was it Chadwick hopping down off a shelf, walks in through the doorway, and then carefully making sure his flame doesn't touch the parchment. He steadily climbs up the stack of scrolls nearest to the desk, and hops up onto it, and walks carefully over to the elderly gentleman.
Do I know if Chadwick is some sort of being or more an enchanted object?
Make an Arcana check, or either make an Arcana check or make a History check. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Okay, so you got a 13. Okay. You've heard of these things. What did you roll first of all, actually? Okay. You've heard of these things. These are beings called living wicks. Candles that take on the form of... They're basically small wax golems. They live for as long as their wick is lit. They're controlled. They're not individual beings. They are controlled by somebody. And they're usually instructed mentally to do things and not act in a specific way. You have to purposefully tell them to do something. They cannot act individually. So seeing Chadwick like this is actually quite interesting because he's acting quite naturally as if he was his own person. You'd know that they do melt as an ordinary candle would, and so once their wick runs out, they're effectively dead, and gone. So, but then they're not particularly expensive, from what you've heard. So they're good. They're a good magical workforce if you need them. Okay. Chadwick walks across. Actually, let me see. Would you have had dealings with Zeb before, Zebedee?
Me?
Yeah, Frederick.
You're the only one who lives in this city.
Well, I didn't know the direction towards him, so no.
Okay. Just wondering, because, yeah. Just in case you knew anything about him. Right. So, Chadwick walks across the desk, and just gently taps the elderly gentleman on the elbow. And he just kind of, the gentleman starts and says, Chadwick, it's good to see you, my boy. How can I help you? And Chadwick just kind of gestures over to the doorway where you're over to where you're stood. And the elderly gentleman looks up and says, "Oh, ye have visitors. This is most excellent. I haven't had. Very good. He just kind of looks at you expectantly, and he just gestures and says, I'm Zebedee, yes. He has kind of a vacant look in his eyes.
Okay. Hello, Zebedee.
Kind of nods his head to you and just kind of says,
Hello,
I was wondering whether you could value a couple of magical items that I have.
He kind of withdraws slightly and then looks down at Chadwick, and Chadwick kind of makes placating gestures and kind of saying, "Don't worry, they're fine." And he just kind of looks up at you and nods and says, "Yes." He holds out a hand, asking for you to hand stuff over.
Okay, well, I give him the portable hole and my new blowing or smoking pipe
Okay.
thing with the dragon, like the monster.
Okay. So he takes them off you, examines them, and then he places them on the table. He pulls out. Then opens up a drawer and lifts out a large crystal ball. You'd recognise this as the kind of thing that you would use as a spellcasting focus. And then he also pulls out he rolls up the parchment he's currently working on, places it to one side, then lifts out a blank piece of parchment and a new inkwell, dips it in the ink, rests a quill on the paper, and then rests another hand onto the crystal orb for a second, and then stares into it. For a second, his eyes begin to glaze over, and his eyelids kind of droop slightly as if he was about to go to sleep. and then then there's a flash, and in the orb there is a small point of light, which is reflected into his glazed-over eyes, and the pen begins to move over the parchment, leaving behind it a trail of glittering bluish purple energy. And he's writing out formulas and paragraphs and text and everything. A couple of seconds pass, and he kind of rouses himself. The glow vanishes from the orb and from his eyes, and he just kind of gently folds the piece of paper up and hands it to you. Says, "There you go," and then hands you back the pipe of smoke monsters and your portable hole. You have all the information about them already. It doesn't really tell you anything new. They're in your journal. He then looks over the rest of you and kind of shields his eyes slightly against Jaci's, who's glowing still. Actually, would you still be glowing at this point? Yes, you are. It lasts an hour. Okay. He shields his eyes slightly against you, Jaci, and then looks over at Shouter and Frederick and just kind of feebly waves slightly.
I wave back.
Do any of you also does anybody else have any items they would like to have identified?
Shouter, you have that raven thing, don't you?
Yeah. I hand over the raven and the fan.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the fan.
He takes a special interest in the small figure statuette of the raven, and just kind of turns over in his hands, holds it clasped in both hands for a second, just kind of inspects it very up close, looking over his glasses, and then he says, perhaps no, maybe not. How about no, I don't think so. Beep, beep, beep. Nope. Okay. How about? And he just whispers an arcane word that you can't. It just kind of instantly vanishes from your memory, and there is a great commotion as suddenly this small silver statuette of a raven turns black, grows feathers, becomes larger, and suddenly perched on his arm is a full-sized raven.
Right.
He smiles like, yes, He just smiles at you, and then just taps the raven on its head, and he just kind of turns back into the statuette. He just kind of it clatters to the floor because as he tries to grab it but isn't fast enough. He just kind of slowly bends down and picks it up and says, "Here." He just hands it back to you, Shouter. I will just quickly put what you have into your journal for you.
Would I be able to find out the words that you said so I can use that in the future?
Yes, I'd say you know the words now.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. You have a figurine of wondrous power. There you are.
Ooh. Wait, if I'm not a magical being, can I use the raven?
Yes.
Neat.
And then you have the
You
fan.
now have a portable raven.
It's a pretty cool item, actually.
Portable raven. Because ravens usually don't move.
Portable hole. She's a portable raven.
I want something portable.
Right.
How can I get magical
Let's see,
items?
this doesn't require attunement, does it? No. This doesn't require attunement, so actually, anybody could use this in the group. Okay.
I'm gonna shove it back
But
in my backpack and hope no one
you have
steals
it
it.
for now. So then,
Do I know the words? Can I just randomly?
you have to have the item on you to be able to do it. You can't just whisper the words and suddenly have a really panicked bird in Shouter's backpack. That would be terrifying. Just suddenly walking along the road, just hear.
Wait,
Okay.
Sam, what about the fan?
The fan. Okay. This he seems to have a little bit more trouble with, and he again pulls out sheaf of parchment and does the whole identification ritual again, holding on to the crystal orb. And he begins writing again this stream of words and symbols and things. leaving a trail of bluish purple energy behind the quill as he writes. A couple of seconds pass, and again he carefully folds the piece of paper up and hands it to you very timidly. You now have a wind fan. I'm just about to put it into your journal.
Aren't all fans wind fans?
This one's magical. There you go. So it's now in your journal. Should be anyway.
It's very windy.
It is rather windy, yes.
What can I do with the wind fan?
I believe I have to put it in your journal so you can have a read. If you want to read it out to other people, you can do.
Where do I find it?
So it's the journal. The journal tab is the tab that looks like a folded over bit of paper, and there's a handout thing underneath that.
Cool.
Yep. So yes, you now have that. He kind of looks around at the rest of you because, anything else?
Do you know where I can find amazing magical items?
He just kind of looks towards you. He doesn't look directly at you. He looks slightly over your shoulder and just kind of gestures around in what is an attempt at a very grand gesture. And he says, "Here."
Oh, lovely.
Then he says, help. I will give help. And he briefly touches the crystal orb, and then claps his hand, and then there are three candles on the side of his desk light up. The wicks bursting into life. There's a creaking and a cracking and a stretching and what sounds like very faint yawning as these three candles kind of stretch, extracting arms from their sides, reaching out, heads emerging from shoulders, kicking their legs to the hardened wax cracking, and three more living wicks are now there. And he's kind of each bow to you, kind of saying, "We're at your service." Again, this is very strange. They're all acting as if they were organic beings. And by the time this is finished, he's already opened up his scroll again and has continued doing the very fine work, creating a magical scroll. Let me see, Gabriel, how close are you to the desk at this moment? You still have the crystal as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm close enough for me to hand something to him.
Okay.
I didn't move away once.
You're not. You're not holding the crystal at the moment, but it's only now that you've been stood here for a couple of seconds that you do hear a faint whispering, coming from the direction of the crystal orb, and it isn't incoherent as it was when you held it previously. This time you can hear, "Hello, hello, hello." In fact, let's see, Shouty, you hear this as well because you have super good passive perception.
Oh dear.
So yes.
I'm going to
Hello.
get it out of
Can
my
you hear
bag.
I walk over to Gabriel.
As you pull out the bag and hold it closer to the crystal orb, the voice gets louder. It says, "Hello, hello. Ah, you've heard me. Excellent. Hello.
Hello. How are you talking?
Well, funny story. I'm alive. Yes, I don't really know how. Once I got your attention, I wasn't really sure what to say. As you watch even now as blue strands of energy and motes of light are coming off this crystal shard. And Jaci, you can now hear it now as well. And as you hold it, you can still hear this voice. You can still hear the very faint whispers at the back of your head, Gabriel, as you're holding this. But there is now a voice, and he says, "Yes, thank you for, extracting me from that giant's foot. It wasn't particularly nice. I could do with some help."
Okay, what would you like help with?
Well, I'd like a body back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, your last one was kind of stood on by a giant.
I know, but trust me, I'm okay with that. That body was horrible. Just, I want to be human again.
Okay.
Oh dear.
What's your name?
My name? Oh, my name is John.
Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you too. I'm not sure what your name is. Oh, it's so good to speak to somebody. I haven't spoken. Well, I've spoken to people, but it's always been very robotic, and nobody's ever actually spoken to me. Well, not for a good few years anyway.
Is the Ministry stealing people and putting them inside or crystal, or this has just taken a dark turn?
Excellent.
How did you get like this?
Well, I perhaps did some bad things, and
Criminals inside the robot.
then I was, put in this. Very simply, let me ask you this: where's the prison? Where did the criminals go in this city?
Do I know?
I haven't seen the prison yet.
Frederick, make an intelligence check.
Let's call that high. Like, I should really know by now.
You just haven't.
I say you know that
I make a good person.
it's not that ridiculous. You thinking about it now, something you never really thought about. In none of the maps, none of the signposts, none of it, nowhere in the city is there a prison, and nobody ever says, take this man to jail when they arrest them. Criminals just kind of vanish. You're not sure where they go.
Well, that's rather sinister, isn't it?
I asked John what bad things he did.
Oh, just... I stole some bread. Needed to feed some people.
And his name's John.
Well, where
well,
should we take you to?
Rehumanize.
I don't know, but for now I'm happy being right here because I can speak to you. But I've heard things. Whilst I was a robot, well, also as an automata, I have heard things, heard talk of a group who helps people like me once they are free of the shackles of the Ministry. They're called the Runners. I don't know how to contact them though.
You know what? I might be able to find out how to contact them.
Really?
Dungeon Master, would the guild know anything about this? Would I be able to contact someone from the guild?
From the guild. Let me see. Brewers Guild. I'd say you've heard of the Runners. They've been hitting. They've been big news. They've been. I won't say big news, but you've heard of them definitely. They've been irking the Ministry for a while now. You just heard them as thieves, stealing and repurposing automata for their own uses. But let me see. The one person who probably would that you definitely would know how to contact them was a certain gentleman who liked white tuxedos and red carnations and is now dead. But you working a bar, you could probably find stuff out.
We spoke a while ago about trying to find the hub to see if we could find someone to decrypt the notebook. Maybe someone there also knows about the Runners.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds good. Just so you're aware, Zeb is just completely ignoring you. He's engrossed. His tongue is down back between his teeth. He is focused entirely on doing this. Having Chadwick is kind of just stood there, arms crossed, tapping his feet.
Is there anywhere we could like buy one of these crystal orbs to keep talking to John or not? Also to talk to the other automators.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Yes. Chadwick nods enthusiastically and just points through the doorway. The other 3 living wicks kind of instantly jump off the table and start running off through the shops, through the shelves and everything. And Chadwick beckons to you to follow him, and he too just hops off the table and walks off through the shop.
I follow Chadwick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
As you
Somebody wouldn't be able to translate this book. Frederick, would he? Is it Frederick? I can't remember.
It wasn't me.
pardon, sorry, what?
Oh, it was
The
Jaci.
book. No.
I've got the notebook, but it's encoded. It's not just in a different language, so
But I mean,
So
would Zebedee be able to uncode it using
I'd say-
magic?
Gabriel, make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Wait, did I say medicine or intelligence?
You said intelligent.
Make a medicine check.
Make a medicine check.
Medicine, yeah.
Okay. Why would it not let me cancel the intelligence check?
I don't know.
Wait.
a
There we go.
medicine. I'm confused.
Because just looking at the state. Well, that's an actual 20. So how much to tell you?
All of it.
Okay. I'm gonna very quickly hop into Discord and have to type something to Nathaniel, because that is an actual 20. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
So,
No.
Okay.
how do we... But my intelligence is very low. How do we talk?
Sam, we can hear you typing.
I know. I'll mute myself. How
Great.
about
Work out what keys he's
Thank
typing.
How do we hear that bass sound? Right, should someone stay with the orb thing and with John so keep talking to him while we go and find the other ones? And the other
I
orbs.
know me and you, Shelter, are going to find some more orbs.
Yeah, but are other people
Is
staying?
Frederick staying there?
I would like to go off and find some more magical objects because I'm very interested.
I think Gabriel should stay then,
Can
just
you
in
get,
case John says anything else.
Yes. Can you get me an orb, please? I'd like to get
Fine.
Dennis.
Oh yeah, Dennis. We could talk to all the automatons and be like, so what did you do to deserve it? Sam's taking.
He has just sent a message.
Hey, what?
I'm not saying.
Why not?
that? Okay, there you go.
Why
There we
don't
are,
you
done.
share what you've learnt with the group?
Yes, Daniela can
That-
just read it. She's right there.
I can't do. Okay, so I can't do whispers like they do on Critical Role, so I have to do it texted. So, yeah. There you go. It's up to you now. It's up to you now whether you share that, Gabriel. It was a natural 20. I wasn't expecting to have to reveal that much, but okay.
This is where Nathaniel pickpockets me and legs it.
So yes. So let's see. Who's going for what? Let me see. So
Yaki and I are going to get orbs. Frederick's going to find more magical stuff and wants an orb. And I think Gabriel's going to stay with John and the orb and Zebedee.
is that orb with a TM for Tomska?
The orb.
Orb. We love
What was
orb.
that, baby orb? Where's the cat?
Orb. Sorry. Had to be said. Alright, where's the magical focuses? How much am I
Okay.
charging
I
for this?
think I get the message.
Come on, share.
Yeah.
Share with the group.
Well,
It's good to be
Oh.
open.
you can tell that he's not right. Something's wrong with him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it seems a bit.
but for what reason?
I wouldn't know.
We do know
He
why.
seems like quite a good guy. He seems lovely.
I mean, we already know that something happened and his son died, so
Wait, who are we talking about now?
Zebedee.
Oh.
So was your medicine check, did that give you information about Zebedee then?
Yes,
Ah.
it
What were you trying to get?
about whether somebody can decode this booklet.
The answer
Can he
is
decode the notebook?
at this point, no.
Oh.
No. Does anyone have any way of removing a curse? Like the spell remove curse?
Sadly, no.
Nice on him.
Well,
Poor guy.
possibly. I suspect
I can make
that
things.
I suspect that there's it's magic limiting what he can do. It's magic that's make him broken.
Well, it's either you or Frederick that can remove
I
curse,
can
and if
calm
neither of you...
emotions.
I can't.
I can calm emotions. And I can
I
chill
can-
wounds.
I can kill things.
Muscle wizard.
Do you have a woundy curse? I feel so sorry for him, poor guy. How can I help?
Aww.
This is when you catch a shot through the At this point, you catch a shot of him through the through the shelves, hunched over this table, just kind of tongue between his teeth. He's moved on to another scroll now, just doing arcane symbols, just drawing things. The fire crackling beside him.
I really want to help the guy. You know what? This could be one of our missions. We will work out how to help everything. But
Definitely.
first,
Okay.
I need some magic items, preferably dangerous ones. Handle
Okay.
people
Let-
and
Let's get the simple things out of the way first. So, for three basic crystal orbs, magical focuses, it will run you about 50 gold pieces.
Do we need 3?
Or can we just use one between us?
You could just use one.
Yeah,
How
just
much
one.
would that be then?
I'd say around. Let's see. It says let's go
12 gold,
Go with about-
50.
about 10 gold pieces. For the cheapest one, it's around 10 gold pieces.
Will the cheap one still work as a translator thing for
Yeah, you
John?
think so?
Will it have a weird accent?
Now he's Spanish.
Cheap.
He'll speak with a Scottish accent and it'll be really weird. It's a terrible
you can do
Scottish
it,
accent. Yeah, you know, trying to do it very quickly isn't my style.
Aye.
Aye, lass.
Right. Shall we get the slightly less cheap one just in case? What's the
No,
slightly
just
less
get
cheap
the
one?
cheap.
House or something.
Wait, what's the slightly less cheap one?
So this cheap one is about slightly larger and slightly more polished. It's about 15 gold pieces. The best one is about 50 gold pieces and has a little gold stand. It's quite large.
Should we get the 15 one?
Yeah, get the 15.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you're paying,
Will we split it in half? I'll pay 10, you pay 5. How's that
Okay.
sound?
That sounds great.
Sounds great to me.
Because I'm willing to
what am I?
sacrifice my money for John.
there's 4 of us, and you've said I'll pay 10 and you pay 5.
No,
so
only
does
2
that
of
mean-
us have gone out to get them. Get
Yeah.
you?
So,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
oh,
really
it's
cool.
just me. It's just wait. So I have to pay 5. Okay.
I'll
Cool,
pay you
then.
back. I'll pay
Oh,
you
thank
back.
you.
You
Wait a second. So who's
Wait,
paying?
Frederick, if you give me 5, then we've each paid £5 for it. Okay, now I've got 100. Neat.
And I'm looking after the crystal. So
Looking after John.
yeah, I'm doing all the expenses to look after John.
Expensive.
So yeah.
But quick thing, does something keeps beeping whenever I talk?
I think that might just be a bit of an echo.
Lovely.
I don't know.
I can hear a beat.
Should we head back and buy the orb then?
Okay. So you have now orb.
I have orb.
Okay. Other magical items then. More magical items. Actual magical items. So you now have an orb as in a spell casting focus. So if you, yeah, that's there if you ever want to become a wizard. So what are you looking for specifically, Frederick?
I would like something that can do some damage. I'd like something dangerous. Something
Okay.
exciting. Don't
You-
know what yet.
Okay, so you describe this to one of the living wicks that you have with you. He kind of stands there, ponders it for a second, continues pondering. Whilst the Dungeon Master doesn't flick through a book. Totally not.
Stop
flicking
breaking
through
the
a book.
fourth wall, Sam.
Uh,
You're ruining the immersion.
my immersion is broken. Sorry. Something that does damage. Talk amongst
Got a raven
yourselves. This
that's
could take a
listening.
while. That would do well.
Want something with a bit of pizzazz.
Something with a bit of pizzazz. Okay.
And does damage.
Okay. I think I've got something. Okay, so he finishes pondering and heads off, and he goes, "Ah!" He points his finger up and jerks his head up as if he was going, "Ah! I got it! Eureka!" And legs it off through the bookshelves, and takes you to a weapon rack along the back wall. There you can see a dagger with green highlights, a large sword with a blue crystal set in the hilt. Another blue sword. You see at the very top of this rack. You can see a very ornate looking sword, where the hilt has been fashioned into a dragon's head, so that the sword is coming out of the dragon's mouth. There's also a hammer. There's a sword that's made. It seems to glitter like it's covered in a layer of frost, and another one that seems to glow with some latent heat. Okay, maybe not that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of different swords. Up
Well,
to you. Which one would you like?
Blue is definitely my colour.
Blue
Aren't
is
you a
definitely-
bit too small for a sword?
I can wield a sword if I want
It's like a dagger is basically a sword for someone your size.
I'm 4 foot and a bit, young man.
Let's see, you got achievement.
I'm 4 foot and a bit.
I'll have you know that I'm quite old.
It's like a 10-year-old saying, I'm 10 3/4.
Oh. Of course you are. Sorry.
We're 2 foot taller than you.
Okay, so you actually have got quite a few different proficiencies there. Okay. So blue is definitely your colour, did you say? Okay, so
Absolutely.
you've got the 2 swords with the blue crystals embedded in their hilts, and the one that's got the other blue one, which has kind of got this layer of frost over it.
Ooh.
The frosty one looks cool. What does that do?
You look at the name tag, and it says, it's got quite a lot of stuff. I should have read this before giving you the option. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So, effectively, it's a magical weapon that does ordinary sword damage, but it's magical sword damage, plus an extra bit of cold damage. It also might give you a small amount of protection against fire, and gives you bonus gives you a little bit of an extra panache when fighting in the cold or near fire.
Well, that sounds very interesting. I will get that one.
You flip it over and look at the price tag. It's a little bit expensive.
Ah. How much?
In the range of perhaps around 500 gold pieces.
Hmm.
Have you got one that's maybe a lot cheaper?
You look at the
A butter knife for frost.
yes, definitely. So a wooden praxis sword that kind of drips pathetically with ice.
Aw.
I can't find this one. There you go. Why am I looking at all the really expensive ones? Okay. So you look again at the one of the ones with the blue crystals embedded in the handle, and this particular sword, from the description, as far as you can tell, you can throw into the air and it will fight on its own for a bit.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. How much is that one?
A little bit cheaper, about 100 gold pieces.
100 gold pieces. That's reasonable. I'll get that.
Okay.
Thank you.
How rich are you?
Now, not at all. I have a job.
Okay, I will just quickly do this. Okay, so you hand the as you pick up the sword, and hold out the amount of money, the three living wicks run over and just kind of take it and support it between them. It's very heavy for these three beings, which are about maybe 3 or so inches tall. They're very, very small, and they're just carrying this massive bag of gold. Come on, I'm just edit that. So this will require attunement for you, Frederick.
Okay.
And this is a long sword, so let me just quickly see. I will then dump it into your thing for you as well, into your inventory.
See, I'd much rather stick to my reliable spell.
So long sword. It's 151, isn't it, for swords? Sad that I know that off by heart. Oh, it's not 149. Got it wrong. Long sword. 1d8 slashing. Damage is 1d8. No, 8. Slashing. Doing this as quickly as possible, I'm sorry about this. Then you don't currently have any extra damage on top of that. But it is magical, I believe. It is, so it's a magical weapon. So bear that in mind. So here we are.
I think.
Slashing. Spelling slashing right would help. Right, there we are. That's that. You now have that. Anybody else? Would anybody else like to buy any magical items?
I'd like to have a look around.
Okay.
I'd look at, I don't know, armor and cloaks and things that might.
Okay. You're led through the shelves by a. You're led through the shelves by the living wicks, and you find yourself in front of a bunch of different cloaks. There's one very fine-looking cloak that looks. It's covered in. It looks like spider webs, and it looks like it's not just covered in spider webs. It looks like the spider webs seem to emerge from the fabric. It's interwoven with it. There's another one that looks like it has two long tentacles coming out off the shoulders, and it just kind of, as you look at it, it kind of seems to shift in position slightly as you look, even as you're looking at it. There's another one decorated with leaves and things, a beautiful green cloak. There's another one that has a little shield-like clasp on it, which is good. And there's one that it looks like a pair of large bat's wings with a hood on top, which looks quite nice. And then there's another one that I don't know if Jaci would ever have come across manta rays before, but it looks like a manta ray.
Right.
Any of those catch your
Can I-
interest?
Can I look at the label? I'll have a look at the label of the spider web one first.
Okay.
See what it does.
It is a very, very fine garment. It is, whilst you are wearing it, you have, and attuned to it, so this would require attunement. You would have resistant to poisons. You would have a climbing speed, so you're able to climb up things more easily. You'd be able to move like a spider, so unable to get caught in webs and things. And you could also produce webs.
From where exactly?
It just says you can use an action to cast the web spell. However, this is a very expensive item.
Yeah. Can I just go through the labels of the other ones?
Okay, so you've then got the one with the tentacles. It's a cloak of displacement, so it allows you to. It projects an illusion around you, so that it makes it harder for things to hit you. Cloak of the leafy one is a cloak of elven kind, so you have advantage on certain wisdom checks and stealth checks, and you have the ability to become camouflaged with things. Think Frodo and Sam's cloaks from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
The one with the shield on it is cloak of protection. So the elven kind one is quite a lot cheaper, so that'd be around 25 gold pieces. Same with the next one with the shield on the clasp. That's a cloak of protection, which gives you bonus. Increases your armor class and gives a bonus to saving throws. The one that looks like a pair of bat wings allows you to fly. It allows you to have advantage on stealth checks, and you can also transform yourself into a bat whilst in dim or dark light. Oh, thank you very much for following, Sildari? Yeah, Sildari. Thank you very much for following us. And then the cloak, and the one that looks like a manta ray, that is a cloak of the manta ray, which gives you a swimming speed, and you can breathe underwater.
Do any of them look like they'll give me like a really good, like, make me really stealthy?
Cloak of the bat, which is incredibly expensive, and the cloak of elven kind are both good for that.
How much is the bat one?
The cloak of the bat would be around 200 gold pieces.
Right.
Barter.
Yeah. Can you do it for 150?
Was it Chadwick is there, and he just kind of thinks for a second, then I don't know how he'd do it. So he grabs a piece of chalk, which is about the same size as his leg, hoists it up on his shoulder, and begins chalking things out on the side of one of the book-shaped cases. And he says, 175.
160.
165. Just he's kind of chalking it out on the side of the bookcase as he goes.
Okay, 165.
Now you have no money.
I still have a little bit.
Some money.
Aw.
Okay, so you now have the cloak of the bat. I will get that sorted for you.
How much have I played? Just 165?
165, yep.
Bit of math. Thought I was finished with maths then.
Not a chance. Okay, so that is now in your journal. I'll just dump it into your inventory as well. This will require attunement. There you are. There you are. Now have that.
I
So-
also have very little money.
You have a cloak of the bat. Yes, you can now turn into a bat when you're in dim light or shadows. Woo.
Which you cannot currently do because you are currently a
Hey,
light.
you're glowing still.
Damn it. Frederick, how much gold do you actually have?
18 pages.
Snap. We are poor.
As you kind of hold out your finger and hold out a claw and shake was it Chadwick's hand? And as you do that, you see you see two of the other living wicks kind of hop up with a rag and start scrubbing the chalk off the side of the bookcase.
I'll head back to the others now.
Okay. Okay. Is that everything everybody would like to do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a bit more money before I start buying expensive magical items.
Yeah, in future, I think what I'll do is before a session I'll say, right, today you have the opportunity to go and see Zeb or go to a magic shop, and I will then give you a list of magical items and let you choose from that, because that will take less time than this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have now met Zeb in his shop. So anything else
So-
you?
What do we need to do now then? So we've got what will be the next stage of our adventure then, guys? Who are we choosing to visit next?
How close have you got the crystal orb to the crystal to? How close have you got your new orb to the crystal? Who is John?
Yeah, wait, who's carrying the crystal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still
Well-
you, I think.
Okay, because I didn't pay for it.
I think somebody else did.
Oh no, the orb. I think Shouter's
orb.
got that, hasn't she?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I might suggest that I should keep hold of the orb. If I'm keeping hold of the crystal.
But we paid for it.
You faintly hear John say, "Oh, an adventure! This sounds really, really good."
Oh.
Aww.
He's really faint and quiet because he's quite a little bit away from the orb.
We have got some people to help. Gotta help John. Gotta find a way to help somebody. And we need the hub. Go to the hub. Let's go to the hub.
Do you know where the hub is?
Okay.
Me.
I just start to walk out the door, turn in a random direction down it.
You begin walking in a direction.
Can I do like a perception thing to see if I have seen the hub before?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
It's going to
Will
be
I
a
make
difficult
one?
one because, yeah, if you want to see if you can, Frederick, if you want to see if you know where the hub is, make an intelligence check. Anybody else who wants to see if they can work it out, make an
I have
intelligence check.
absolutely no clue about anything in this city.
What are we
It's
working out?
brilliant.
See if you know
I
where
haven't
where the hub is.
20 odd years and I still have no idea.
Wait, what? Intelligence?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Right, well, none of us know.
Well, Shouter knows roughly what direction it would be in.
Shouter, I think this is the first time you've been to this city.
Yeah.
This will be the first time you've been to this city. You're not. You don't know where the hub is exactly, but you do. You think that if you could track down a criminal of some sort, they might be able to tell you.
Why a criminal specifically?
Well,
Because it's the
you know that the
criminal
hub,
hub.
is the hub for criminal activity in
That's
the
right.
city. So
Okay.
Let's go find a criminal. Wait, why don't we just ask John?
What is the most expensive thing that we own here?
Mate.
Miss Chris.
Just sort of hang out of your bag a bit and see if someone.
So you got the cloak. I think you got the cloak of the bat, which is the most expensive. The most intriguing item would probably be Yaki's gun, and then for things
Yaki's
that
still
are
glowing, isn't he?
Pardon, sorry?
Okay, Yaki,
Yaki's still
just-
glowing, so he could
Yeah.
just get out of his gun and the cloak and be like,
Wait, I
Come rob me.
just put your gun somewhere where it can be like vaguely seen.
oh
And
wait,
it'll be very easy to
The other object that might be desirable for people to you're not sure. It might be a bit hit and miss, but John, the crystal itself, might be desirable.
we're not sacrificing John.
Yeah.
It's John or my weapon.
Your weapon.
wait,
We
I've got
could
this.
find an
I've
automator
got
and
this.
use them as bait.
I'm gonna use the
Oh.
prestidigitation
Wait.
to create a very expensive looking item.
Wait,
What was
the
Yeah, you
automators?
Yeah.
The automators are previous criminals. Why don't we put an orb to one of their faces and ask them?
Or
Should they
does
know?
John know where it is?
John wouldn't know because he already stole bread. But one of the automators
Oh,
might be like
yeah.
a serious criminal.
Dennis might know. Let's find Dennis.
Dennis,
Let's find Dennis.
Okay.
go back
So
to the hotel then.
You head back to the hotel. By the time you get there, it's heading towards early evening at this point. You spent it takes a while to navigate around the city. You head back to the Edgar Hyatt hotel to speak with Dennis. How exactly when you get there? Dennis has been working the bar all afternoon. You do see Charlie working and walking around quite a lot.
I'll take over on the bar, and the rest of you need to take Dennis to some sort of quieter location, like the staff room, for example.
We can't go in the staff room, we're not staff.
Well, I'll-
Dennis's staff?
there you go.
Yeah, but would we be allowed in with him?
Well, I need to work.
We've
so
been
I
in the
can't
staff room before.
Have we?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You went,
Yeah,
that's where
that's
you
where we
spoke
met.
with the guy.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
I really need
Okay.
to come up with a name for him. The tuxedoed man. Yeah. Okay, so Frederick, you take over on the bar. Start serving drinks and taking orders for food and things. The business. You're not sure, Frederick, but you've never seen this place empty. There is always somebody in the bar, and there's never really. You just coming out the other side of maybe a lull, where only 2 or 3 of the tables were empty. Now it's starting to get busy again. Meanwhile, everybody else, you head into the employee lounge with Dennis. As you're walking in behind him, Dennis goes, "You are not members of staff. We advise that you do not come behind the counter."
We have been given permission.
He cocks his head and says, "By who? Please give name of authorization."
Frederick.
Frederick.
There's a name accepted. Welcome. He just kind of turns around, but it carries on clunking off into around the lounge. He doesn't make a cup. He's an automaton, so he doesn't make a cup of tea. He doesn't get biscuits or anything. He just sits down on the sofa, which sags and creaks as he sits down.
I just shout behind me. Please do get yourselves a cup of tea.
I get the orb out my bag and walk towards Dennis.
Okay.
Wait, should we check? Are there cameras in this world?
Not
Or
that
some
you're
kind
aware-
of
Let's see.
surveillance?
Not cameras, no, and nothing in terms of surveillance that you would have seen.
Alright. I walk up with the orb to the automata, Dennis.
Okay. He just he cocks his head and says, "That is an arcane focus. Do you have a license for that?"
Yes, now shut up.
Give it to Gabriel, quick!
I don't really know how to approach this. Do I just ask?
So do you just hold it up to him? I kind of got this image in my head of you just kind of going up to him, getting closer and closer, and just kind of tapping the orb against his thing.
That's pretty much my idea.
Just kind of like
I say something like, "This orb allows us to talk to you," but emphasis on you, and I can look into his eyes.
okay.
Shush.
Okay. He looks down at the orb. The automata don't have expressions or the ability to make expressions, but the only way I can describe it is he looks down at this orb quizzically, then looks back up at you and says, "But you are speaking to me."
Not the robot version of you. You.
I do not understand.
Alright, I give the orb to Gabriel and give up.
I don't think we can rip the crystal out of Dennis. I think
No.
it's a bit of a bad move.
Just
Can we
slightly.
shut him down temporarily?
Does he
It
have an
feels
off
like
button?
murder.
Tap him on the chin.
Oh yeah, wait, would I know how to how to contact Dennis using the crystal? Or the real Dennis inside?
Make an
Of the
Arcana
orb.
check.
Why do I have no intelligence?
You don't think it's gonna work. Not without ripping him apart, and you don't know how to turn him off.
Can I try? With the Arcana check.
Sure.
I mean, I got -1 on it, so I doubt this is gonna go. Yeah, let's even more.
I might as well have a go.
Smash it!
We've got the same thing.
Shouter, your answer that you come up with is smash it.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm a barbarian.
I'm not rolling well.
Breathe fire on it. Yeah.
And Frederick
None of
isn't
you-
with,
So I got
so-
5. Shouter got 5 -1, and Jaci got 3 plus
3.
2.
Yep. Yep. You don't know if there's a way to get in contact with Dennis inside the inner Dennis.
And John wouldn't know, would he? Did John?
You haven't asked John yet, so.
Let's ask John.
Okay, so you take out John.
Wait, he got out because his thing got crushed.
Yep.
Smash it.
We, we
We can't
can't.
just smash an automata.
That is very illegal, I'd imagine.
We can see if John knows where he was stored. Whereabouts in the automata the crystal was, if he knows.
He kind of just takes a moment. Says, "Okay, this is gonna sound strange, but I don't really remember very much from actually being a robot. It's not like I can see the inside of the robot. I think they use some kind of inhibitor to stop us thinking freely.
There's an inhibitor somewhere.
Yeah.
What
But I'd
does
also
that
say now
imply?
that if they are using criminals to make automata, you might accidentally unleash a mass murderer.
That
That's
is a
true.
good point.
That is,
Oh, I don't want Dennis to be a mass murderer.
it's
Sorry,
your right.
I'm just gonna make an unrelated dice roll.
No, but if he's a mass murderer, he might know where the hub is. I don't know.
I think we're just gonna have to.
Daniela, Just quickly,
Back at the bar, can I see any suspicious? Oh,
make a perception check. And also, can you just give me a quick highs or lows?
perception check.
Yeah, make me a perception check. And then somebody give me a call of highs or lows.
Highs.
Okay. They're the usual very skeevy people in the corner, playing a game of cards, trying to
You
stay out
should
the
have said lows.
Oh no, that was unrelated. The highs and lows was unrelated. But I now know
Right.
what Dennis is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Maybe we shouldn't release Dennis.
It could be good. You don't know.
Yeah, but you do.
Precisely.
I'm scared.
I think we're just gonna have to leave an illusionary pouch of gold in the street and see if a criminal comes along.
Or just a street urchin who really wants money. Sorry.
Yeah, Adam.
Maybe a street urchin will know where the hub is.
Well,
True, actually.
I'm going to shout back to the people in the staff room. Oh, by the way, there's and I guess a lot prior to what I said was suspicious looking. Oh,
I'm sorry, you keep on cussing out. I can't hear you properly.
Oh.
Sorry. What you need to repeat all of that.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm going to tell the people in the staff room there's
Suspicious activity?
behind the bar.
Say can.
Okay, so you say that there's suspicious activity somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
Find out if they're criminal.
What if I walk back out into the bar and use intimidation and see if anyone like runs away?
How
Anyone suspicious would be like,
First of all,
Counter.
was it Frederick? Make me a perception check. Or an insight check. It's up to you.
That was almost a 20.
Almost a 20. People in the back corner don't seem to do anything, but out the corner of your eye you can see somebody shift. Just duck out the doorway. You don't see who, and you don't see their face, but somebody ducks out the doorway.
wait, was this after I walked out?
No, this is after Frederick shouted there was suspicious activity going on.
Alright, I walk out the door and use intimidation. As in, like, my general presence hopefully intimidates people.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
This should be good, because I'm terrifying.
I'm more intimidating than you.
Shit! I've got 4 on intimidation.
Okay, so 4. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the dice. This is 11. You got 15. Okay. Okay. Instantly, the music stops. There's a gasp. There's, what do you do to actually intimidate everybody?
I just kind of frown at everyone. I don't do anything. It's just like, me is scary.
Flex and frown. It's like, okay, everybody just kind of gasps and just you hear scraping chairs as people just kind of move backwards. It's just like, people.
Not that ugly.
I think it's more the way that I'm assuming you just slam the. Oh dear, I keep on hitting my wire. You kind of slam the doors open and just kind of stand there looking very angry. It's just-
Just like boot the door down with my foot.
Yeah.
There are a couple of people nearer the exit who just kind of grab their coats and move and leave. It's just like,
Does anyone look suspicious to me with my passive perception?
It's not really what perception does. You have passive insight, don't you, though, because of observant feet.
Oh yeah.
Passive insight is, I think it's 8 plus your insight ability modifier. So what's your insight? And then
2.
plus 5. So that'd be 8. Oh, let me see. I'll pull up and have a look. So that's 8 plus 2, so that's 10 plus insight which is 2, so that's 12, plus another 5, so that's 17. I believe that's what it is.
Why is there so much pluses?
Oh no, investigation. Ignore me. So it's only 12.
Still pretty good.
Still pretty good. You see, you see a couple of people who do look a little bit shifty. It's more in the fact that when you burst through the door and everybody gasps and everything, there's about a split-second delay between everybody reacting and them reacting, as if they're trying to seem normal and blend in.
I walk over to them slowly.
Everybody you
Like
hear the
making
grinding of
like
chairs
forward.
as everybody kind of shifts back, clearing a path for you.
So
And
how
they just-
was paying attention to the person who ran out the door?
Yeah, but I
didn't
didn't see
know
that. You did. Do you want to tell me? You didn't specifically tell me.
I tried to, but you were too busy intimidating him.
Do you want to tell me now?
Well, somebody ducked out the door, and if you ran, we might still catch him.
I leg it out the door.
I follow.
Okay, you leg it out the door.
There we go. Yeah, I'm
Okay. Make. Let's see.
going to run.
Passive
Try and see if
investigation.
anyone's-
You know what?
Pardon, sorry.
I said, can we see anyone running still?
Make an investigation check.
I'm bad at investigating.
I'm normally good if I get a decent roll.
I'm gonna
Come on,
fly
yeah.
up above.
That's an amazing
try and
natural
get a better look at things, just to.
Sure.
Oh, the music's gone scary.
Well, I don't know.
Why am I
Do I
rolled
just
so bad?
Two natural ones.
Get out of the way now. Trust me. Get out of the way now.
Do I get like an advantage?
Yes, you get an advantage if you're flying.
Flying.
I move out the way of the door.
Oh!
Gabriel, you do see somebody running down the street.
Tell us, tell
Okay.
us.
Yeah, over there. And
I
I
run
fly.
very
direction.
fast.
Okay.
I
In case you didn't see, because you can't see me, I pointed over there.
I'm not attuned to my cloak yet, am I?
Let's see. You'd have had the time to do it on the walk if you just walk back to the hotel if you decided to.
What light level is it? Is it still light?
Well, there's the lamps. I'd say it's if you were to go the furthest you could away from a lamppost, you would be in dark. You'd be in dim light.
And then I could fly really high, so I'm out of the way of...
Yeah.
I am cautious that if someone turns a light on, I will plummet.
I just cast light on you.
Wait, am
Yeah.
I... Actually, that is a point. Am I still...
No, you're
Am I
not. That's
still-
gone now.
Okay. While we're running, at the point where I'm in dim light, I jump, grab both sides of my new cloak, and I flap up into the air.
Okay. You'll watch as, sure enough, that Jaci learns to fly suddenly. He just grabs the corners of his float and begins to flap them like a pair of wings, and he takes off, and you fly up into the air. Yep.
This was a good investment.
Yes, you can now fly. Only in dim light. though.
I
What's your fly speed? Is it the same as your
40,
40s? Okay, so do you chase after him?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
You can never leave. No.
Wait, what's Gabriel's fly speed?
30, I believe.
30.
Ha!
Okay, so
This is where I'm laughing at him as I overtake, and it just goes light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so Yaki, you swoop after this after the person you see running down the street. As you get closer, you see it's a young woman, hair cut quite short, dark hair, wearing a nice-ish dress and a face mask against the smog.
Attack! Don't attack.
don't attack. Can I run fast enough to be within 30 feet?
Can I catch up at the same?
So if you,
Not yeah.
Frederick, if you dash, you'll be able to. Yes. Again,
Oh, no.
Gabriel, if you want to keep up with Yaki, you're gonna have to dash, which will use your action.
Can I keep up?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
as soon as I am within 30 feet.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
As soon as I am within 30 feet, I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on,
Okay.
and they will come to the floor and not be able to run it.
Okay. Can you click on that so I know what I'm doing?
Absolutely. Let's have a look.
Hideous laughter, because it doesn't have the Tasha's bit in Roll20. Because why not? Okay, so that is...
Intimidate someone while you're invisible.
Okay, wisdom saving throw. Sorry, Nathaniel. What did you say?
Can you intimidate someone invisible?
What's,
Make them feel intimidated
I
without
think you have to go.
knowing.
Issue. Okay. Depends on the situation. So,
I'll ask you further in the break.
okay. Okay, so 14. What's your spell DC, Frederick?
Fine. What now?
Your spell DC it's the one at the end of your. I'll check for you. Frederick. Spell save DC is 14. She fails.
Fine.
She fails. She falls down in the middle of in the middle of the street, just laughing. Everybody's kind of backs away from her, looking a little bit concerned.
Am I able to catch up and land?
Yes, you land.
Next to...
You swoop down on her. Just land, momentarily passing the smog. Just kind of landing there right in front of her.
I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
Wait, how long does your spell last for?
It lasts for, I don't know, like a minute, an hour? A minute, I think.
Wait, it
It's
says
not
there.
long.
It's 1 minute.
It'd be long enough for you to get down there and restrain her if you wanted to.
Yes.
So Gabriel, you land down. As you land, your wings kind of dissipate and fade off, shatter into sparkles. You tie her up.
No, not
No?
tie her up.
Just hold her. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna make this suspicious. We're just gonna
It's not suspicious at all. There's two people who have flown down and caused this person to
We-
start laughing.
Sort of like drag her into an alleyway.
Yeah, no, don't drag her. We help her up and walk so it looks like we're just helping her
Yeah.
and just slide her into
But wait,
an
I'm
alley.
gonna intimidate her while we're helping her,
Okay.
just to make her follow.
Well, make an intimidation check. And what do you say to try and intimidate her?
I'm just gonna do it with my looks. I'm gonna look menacing, and except I'm gonna hide it from everyone else but her.
Okay, make an intimidation check. Yeah, +7. Wow.
Yeah.
If she was able to not be laughing, she would look very somber and very scared.
Okay. So, I'm guessing she'll be willing to follow us. Where?
She's willing to follow you at the moment.
Okay.
Where do you go?
So we're gonna kind of half push, half sort of into an alleyway.
Okay. So you make your way into an alleyway.
Wait, trying to stop laughing.
Can't you end the spell?
Yeah, you can just end the spell whenever you want, Frederick.
It only lasts a minute. Quite funny to watch.
It is painful. This.
I'm going to punch Frederick to make him lose his concentration. A spell.
Okay, so you now have a hostage in an alleyway in the middle of a heavily guarded city.
Wait, as we walk into the alleyway, I turn around and laugh awkwardly, ha ha ha, everything's fine, and then run into the alley to make it look like we're just helping a friend.
Make a deception check.
That's another one that I've got +7.
No.
Oh.
Mark up.
Okay.
automatons start running.
I'd say
down.
you have about. You reckon nobody seems to buy it. The fact that this large half-orc woman, they've just watched somebody be dragged off the street, and then you've got this large half-orc woman laughing it off. Nobody seems
And
to
then
trust you.
running
You
into an
reckon you
alleyway.
have maybe 5-10 minutes before the automata turn up.
Oh dear.
Well, I can just turn invisible as soon as they turn up.
Yeah, you have 5-10
come.
minutes to question this person or get out of here.
I just like to gather the people that aren't holding her down, offering me, right? We need to don't ask straight off where the hub is, because she might lie. So ask her what she did first, and then say we'll let her off if she tells us.
Whatever we do, we need to do it quickly. So,
Okay,
and I need to not do it because I have no charisma.
I have lots of charisma.
Do I have charisma?
Well,
I have
yes,
some charisma.
Gabriel, you have plenty of charisma.
Oh.
You have a charisma
Yes.
score of 20. You are fine.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna like be intimidating, as intimidating as I can, while saying that. No, I'm gonna say why did you run out of the door,
Well,
the pub when?
He's kind of panting because of all the laughing. He says, well, I ran because, well, she shouted that there's something suspicious going on, and I wasn't doing anything suspicious, of course, but I didn't. I've got a bad reputation. I didn't want to get caught up again.
Who are you?
Dolores.
And what do you mean
Nice
by
name.
Thank
you
you.
don't want bad reputation again?
Not nothing.
Sorry, it's a nice name.
I've done a couple of bad things. Maybe stolen some jewelry, pickpocketed people.
So I'm guessing you know about the hub, then.
No.
Oh.
Make an insight check.
I think you said that a bit too
I'm-
quickly there.
Making an insight check.
Everybody wants to make an insight check.
Yeah.
Yay! Something that's actually not awful.
Oh, she is most definitely lying. She has heard of the hub. She knows where it is.
I go to her. Look, the automata are on their way. If you just tell us where the hub is, we'll let you go before they get here.
She kind of looks around awkward and shrinks back up against the wall and says, "Fine. I'll give you directions.
No, you'll take us there.
Fine, but not now. It requires that we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go through the sewers, and well, it's quite dangerous at the moment to go through the sewers during the night. It's getting quite late now."
How do we make sure
Is the alley a dead end, or does it lead off into other?
It splits off in two directions. You're not sure where it comes out.
Gabriel could turn invisible to pick her up and then like fly somewhere.
And then there'd just be someone flying around.
No, he could fly like above, like automatons wouldn't look up, would they? So he could just like fly on top of the building, wait till they go away, and then fly back down again. Just the alley when they're gone.
You've got. You start hearing distant sounds of commotion. You think maybe you've got 2 or so minutes left before people start turning up.
Okay.
Right.
Um,
I'm just going to take her. Right.
I know.
Um,
I know you're staying at. I know you're staying at the Edgar Heights Hotel. How about this? You let me stay with you for the evening, and I will take you there tomorrow.
Right.
sure.
If you all head back to the hotel, I'll turn into a bat, fly around a bit, and distract the automata. Really confuse them.
Okay,
Why
well,
is that shine a light on?
Oh no, it's only I can turn into a as long as when I turn into a bat, it's dark, it's fine. It's just the if I use the cloak itself to fly and then it gets light.
That'd be bad. Just go whee.
Just a bat's flying around, they shine a light, and I just go doof.
Okay. So right,
yeah, so I
the-
think
we're gonna be very quick with this because then we can go for a very quick break. So what's the plan?
go casually one by one, leaving, blending into
Yeah.
the crowd outside.
Okay.
Well, will there be much of a
Someone's going
crowd?
to go with Is it Dolores?
Dolores,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, someone-
I'll go because I'm the most intimidating.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stay behind, turn into a bat, and
So I want
Make a
everybody but
commotion.
Jaci to make a stealth check, and then, well, Jaci, I don't think you need to roll for anything to distract people as a bat. Natural 20, well done.
I am perfectly stealthy.
Yes.
Frederick just blends into the crowd, just like.
Well, I'm
Vanishes.
She's tiny, so.
Who's taking Dolores?
That was me,
Okay.
which is the reason for it being harder for me to stay stealthy. But,
All of you
Sorry,
managed
Michael.
to stealth away. Okay. Gabriel, you're a little bit annoyed at Dolores because she's kind of walking very stiff, her arms right down by her side, looking very unnatural. She's kind of nurturing. She loosens up slightly. Yeah, you managed to
I'm
sneak
gonna
away.
make light conversation with her as we're walking along.
Okay. Sorry. Meanwhile, Jaci, the automata, literally just seconds after Gabriel and Dolores have left, the automata turn up and find this bat. This tiny little bat flapping around crazily in the alleyway.
I land on one of their heads and just sit there.
Smash it.
He just kind of looks up at you and says, I appear to have an organic life form on my head. Species, bat. Flying mouse. Not native to this city. She kind of then raises up a blade and lifts you up his head and says, Welcome to the city. He just kind of throws you so you can fly away again.
I fly up and then back to the hotel.
Okay.
And meet up with them there.
Excellent. And I'm assuming you then settle in for the evening? Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Settling in for the evening? Okay then. And it is there that we're going
Also have your key.
Yeah, I'm gonna apply for a job at this inn, like a night job, just
Okay.
every night when we've got back from our adventures. Then I'll help out, teach Frederick how to do his job.
Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna head back up to the room we have, and I'm going to and then I'll go into the bathroom and I need to message Sam.
Okay. Okay, well, it's here then that we're going to take a very quick break. Only going to be about 10-15 minutes because we need to move this along. Yeah, we will be back very shortly because I need to refill my glass, get more to drink. And then we shall continue with the evening. So, see you in a bit. Bye. Hello, everybody. We are back. Welcome back to not Critical Role. That is not us. We roll for gold. Hello. Yes,
Oh,
we are
dear.
totally legitimate people. Happy birthday for 3 days. Happy birthday for 3 days. Joseph. Happy birthday. Right then. So in the first half, a lot of stuff kind of happened. Our party went and saw Zebedee, the minorly insane magical shop owner. Oh, yeah, poor old gentleman whose son had died. They were taken nicely around the shop by his living wick, Chadwick, who allowed the party to purchase items and things. And the party did purchase a magical cloak for Jaci. And a couple of other things which I've completely forgotten. A dancing longsword, that's the other thing. They also identified certain magical items that they found back in the first ever session of Roll for Gold, which was very good. And they also discovered that the crystal which they had gotten out of the foot of the flapper giant was in fact conscious and holds the soul of a certain John, who was a criminal who had stolen some bread in order to feed some people, and for his crimes had been trapped in the crystal. Also revealing that maybe the ministry isn't entirely good, as well as being a corrupt crime-solving force. They are also
Dun
not
dun
particularly
dun.
good. Literally, dun dun dun. So you can't even do that out of tune. So they have now returned. They then returned back to the Edgar Heights Hotel, and managed to find a criminal to help them find the hub, the criminal underbelly of the city of Grossheim. They managed to root out.
You never asked us the girl's name.
Yes, we
You
did.
did. Her name is Dolores. Which I was about to
You
say.
have to make
You managed
It's
to.
a lovely name.
You managed to root out a certain a young woman called Dolores who ran away, and yes, they managed to get her back to the Edgar Heights Hotel, and were about to settle down for the night because she warned that it was dangerous to go through the sewers at night, and the sewers were where you'd have to go in order to find the hub.
Is
So,
there anywhere I could not sleep tonight to keep an eye on her? I don't know if half-orcs need sleep.
you
we
do
could-
need sleep.
Could we take what?
You could take what you could take.
turns?
Watches, but you'd have to do hour-long watches for each person, and also if one person doesn't sleep at all, then you take a point of exhaustion. So
Right, should we do watches?
Let's just tie the woman up well, and then we'll be fine.
If she's a criminal, she might figure out how to get out. I mean, she has about 5 hours to do it, so...
Can't we just look over?
Sam, I'm gonna make my D6 roll to
okay.
do the thing.
Okay.
Oh.
I honestly can't remember how we did it last time.
Last time I rolled a 5 and you just said have 5.
Okay, so you have 2.
Wait, what?
I'm assuming I can reuse
You
them.
can reuse the vials yet, but yeah.
What are you doing with these vials?
Right.
You'll see.
I
I give a wink.
do something.
That's 3.
Right. I'm about to shift you onto a new map. I would like you to decide where your rooms are. Where are your rooms?
Actually, hold on.
In the very, very west coast part building.
Got it on your screen. Move yourself.
No, you can move all your stuff.
Where am I? Oh, I'm there.
Actually,
your
I've
gold.
changed my mind. That one.
Yeah, I'd like a nice big
Should we
one.
put Dolores there?
Wait, how do I
So if she
move
moves, we can hear her as she walks past.
How many rooms have you paid for? I'm just checking.
Can't remember.
Not a clue.
Well, I think we each paid for our own room.
Mm.
Okay.
And then Frederick, I don't know
Maybe I'm
what
not in the very, very west part of the building.
you're in.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, you
Oh,
are.
I am.
Okay, so
I can't
each room is
stay-
quite small. You have just a bed and a table. Each room has a window. I know I've taken some liberties with the descriptions, and I know I did say before there was a there were bathrooms. Yeah, that's changed now. Bathroom is now elsewhere in the building. But yeah, still same thing. Let's just shift this over a little bit so that we can see properly. There we are.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to apply for a different job rather than on the bar. These beds are incredibly messy. I'll have to apply for a cleaning job or something.
I just sleep on the table. I'm sure.
Okay, so who's taking first watch?
Well,
I'll take first watch.
I suppose I actually better give Dolores a token, hadn't I?
I'll take the last watch because I've been working at the bar.
I'll take first watch.
you mean you've been working on the bar? You did it for like less than an hour.
Like, hey, I'm old, I'll have you know, and I've had a hard day of adventuring
How old are you
and very.
compared to the maximum amount of age known to be?
I'm quite old.
Are you?
Working on bars is hard, I have experience.
My wife's retired, so
I'll tell you what's hard is defending the celestial plane.
He has to mention the celestial plane, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what else is hard, the battlefield and seeing all your friends die. I'm kidding, that didn't happen.
That
Okay,
did
so
for me.
which room have you
Sorry.
put Dolores in? This one.
Sure. I'll keep first watch, like, there. Like, with my door open, I can, like, see hers.
You're just gonna sit in the door.
Pretty much. I'll bring I'm sitting on the table if I moved it. Just, like, sitting in my doorway.
Okay. Right. All of you, I need you to assign yourselves a number between 1 and 4.
great.
3.
Excuse me. Okay, 2.
I'll go for.
Hang on.
I'm assuming since Laura's taking first watch, that makes her 1.
Yeah.
Shouter. Who was 2?
Frederick.
That was Frederick.
And Gabriel was 4th, and... No. Who was 4th?
Yeah, Gabriel was 4.
Okay,
I was
and
Jaci 3rd.
then Yaki was 3rd. Okay. Right. Making an unrelated dice roll. Okay.
Of course you are. Clearly unrelated.
Frederick. Okay, so everybody drifts off to sleep. I'd say before you headed upstairs, you did notice Charlie with her coat on and her mask on, heading out the front door. So, just totally unrelated information there. Frederick, how quickly do you go off to sleep?
Very quickly, yes.
Okay. I want you to make a perception check with disadvantage, please. With disadvantage, yes.
Okay.
Because you're asleep.
I do perception.
Perception with disadvantage, yes.
Your throat was slit in your sleep. You are dead.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. Okay. You awake because you feel a draft pass across your face. Each of these rooms has a small window, and you remember yours being closed when you went to bed. But as you sit up and look round, you can see the light curtains for this room are slowly breeze slowly drifting backwards and forwards, and the window is open ever so slightly.
Why? Did I not close the window?
You don't know. You just... What do you do? Do you get up and close it, or do you...
Yeah. I'll look out of it. See if there's any visuals there.
Okay. Look out the window. Do you want to look around and make another perception check?
Yeah.
Shouter, in this... It's been about half an hour at this point. Dolores hasn't left her room, or you haven't heard any commotion from her room.
Can I look in the door anyway, just in case? Like, I realised that I have a window, and she might as well.
Sure. You go and look over in her room. She's lying on her... You see her lying in bed. She's gone to sleep. You get the impression that she's been living on the street for a little while, and that this is the first time she slept in a comfortable bed for a little while.
Okay, go back to my room. And close the door.
Okay.
Quietly.
Just trying to find a page. Give me 2 seconds. So looking out the window, Frederick, you can see that the city has come to life outside. There are people going out to bars and things. It's not much different to how it is in the daytime, in fact, but it's just more lively. It's a different type of lively. Imperceptibly to most people, but still lively. And different. Pardon, sorry?
I can see this through the smog.
Just about. You can see the shadows of people walking through the smogs because of the sunlight. Say from this window, you'd just be able to make out faint memes. You'd be able to faintly make out beams of moonlight streaming in through the door of the castle. I'm being very liberal with geography. I need to sort this out. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
I
there you
suppose I'll have to close the window then.
Okay, you close your window.
Which is going on.
You close the window, but the curtain doesn't stop flowing. You close it with a... There's a satisfying click as the window locks into place, but the curtains around the window are still billowing out.
And can I feel a breeze?
Very faintly,
the
and
wind
then suddenly the wind whips up and you feel yourself thrown against a wall.
I feel myself what?
Thrown against a wall. You know, as you do, casually thrown against a wall. What's
Could
your
you
armor
repeat
class?
that a second? Cut out.
So the wind around the window picks up, and suddenly Frederick is thrown against a wall. Frederick, I would like you to please tell me your armor class.
My arm? Oh no, my armor class is
12. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you were thrown against this wall.
Jeez. Do I hear
You
this?
fall down to the bed.
I'm assuming I hear this.
Shouter definitely hears this because this is against her wall and she's incredibly perceptive.
I just yelled, ow!
Yeah, everybody hears this. You
I
all
run in.
hear this.
And help.
I'm joining.
Okay.
Jaci,
In
you're
the
asleep.
doorway, apparently.
Everybody to please roll initiative.
Who is? We don't even know who's attacking. I'm so
Wait,
confused.
Jaci and Gabriel were asleep.
That says
We're awake
loud enough.
now. Wow, look at that solid initiative roll.
Oh, I tell everyone what happened. Who's just, if anyone's run into the room.
I'd say everybody can feel a breeze just kind of rolling around this room. Okay, so we've got Shouter with 12, Frederick with a 13, Jaci with a 7, and Gabriel with a 3. Okay, so there we are. Okay then, so Where's it going? Okay. So, Frederick, you've just been thrown against the wall, and there's a breeze. You occasionally feel the breeze again passing over you. What would you like to do?
Well, I would like to look around and try and work out if anyone what's going on. I'll shout that. I'll shout. Who did that?
You just hear as a wind just rackets around the room. Make it. I don't know. How lucid are you? Would you say at this point?
What do you mean?
How awake and how attentive are you being?
Well, I've just been smashed against the wall. I am pretty awake at this point, I would say.
Okay, make an Arcana check then.
Oh dear.
My Arcana isn't very good. Okay. My knowledge
It's
of
wind. How did it throw me against?
Okay, the wind is attacking you. You must have done something really bad to anger the wind gods. Ah. Okay then. So. What would you like to do with your turn? You've just thrown against the wall.
Right. Well. Oh. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Right. In that case, I am going. I'm very short, aren't I? Bed go all the way to
Pardon, sorry?
Does the bed go all the way to the top?
There's a small crawl space beneath the bed. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to hide under that because I do not know what's going on.
Okay, so you duck underneath
Yeah.
the bed. Okay. You slide underneath the bed. Okay. Shouter, it is your go then.
I don't know what to attack. I can't see anything.
There's just wind in the room. It's just.
What counteract?
I mean, you could
Can I
try and
use-
use your fan.
Yeah. I don't know what that would do.
Do it.
Just icy wind.
I'm gonna use my fan and just kind of hope for the best. Use the wind thing.
Okay. Let me just.
What was the thing for that?
Let me just check. While holding a fan, you can use an action to cast a gust of wind spell. DC 13 for it. Once used, fan shouldn't be used again until next dawn. Oh, okay. Okay, so going gust of wind. Let's have a look, shall we? I mean, I could just look it up, but yeah, I could search it. Gust of wind. Oh wow. Okay, so a line of strong wind 60 feet long and 10 feet wide blasts from you in a direction you choose. Pardon me. For the spell's duration, which is 1 minute. Each creature that starts its turn in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. Any creature in
It
the line
isn't
must be-
15 feet to move. It would just be right against the wall.
Yeah.
You're gonna...
I feel like I'd fly backwards.
Don't let me against.
No, you'll
No,
just
it's fine.
blow the window out.
Yep. Okay, so do you use the
Or
wind
under
fan?
bed.
Do you use the wind fan, sorry?
Yes.
Okay.
And I aim it just at the there. What's it?
Out the window.
There.
Okay, so you flick the fan out, just start fanning the air, and it just kind of, and yeah, the room is suddenly full of wind once again, but more concentrated in that direction. Something buffets the table as it's pushed backwards.
What, as in something knocks against the table?
Yes.
There's someone.
Cast light.
Yeah,
I have
shadow.
a torch. Why don't I just do that?
It's not my goal. I had terrible.
Light someone. Oh, no,
Who,
Yeah.
I can't hear you down here, sorry.
You know what? I know what I'm doing.
Okay. What else? Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Gabriel? No, not Gabriel. Shouter.
What?
Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Wait, how dark is it in the room?
It's. I'm assuming it's light. It's got there are lights on the wall. There are these crystals in the wall that are lighting everything up.
And we still can't see any creature or anything.
Yeah, you still can't see anything.
Didn't you say I had like a thud on the thing?
It's more like something shifted the table as it passed over it. There was
Can I
no,
swing my axe
there's no
blindly?
impact sound. Sure, can do.
Oh dear.
Frederick Duck. I'm gonna swing my axe blindly.
I'm under the table, so there's no point in that.
You're under the
Hey.
table.
Wow, that hits. Well done. Okay, you. Okay,
Wow.
roll damage for that.
You
Gladly.
hit something.
Okay, so you do.
12?
No, you do a bit more than that. So it's 9 plus 4, which is
16.
it's a lot. Yeah, 16 points of damage. You
Nice.
feel your axe pass through something, an area of denser air. And it doesn't feel like it does as much damage as you're expecting, but something recoils in pain.
And
Is it bleeding at all, or is it just...
There's no blood
Am.
or anything. It's just
It's just
it
air got
passes
hurt.
through. Your axe passes through an area of denser air.
Alright. I'm now gonna shift onto the bed to allow Yaki to do something.
Okay, Yaki, it's your go.
right, I'm gonna move just into the room. I'm assuming I saw where Shouter swung.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I would like to use my breath weapon, Samuel.
Okay.
Exciting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So
You're a golden.
I'm
boy.
just
you're just gonna use.
start off. I'm just gonna breathe.
You're just gonna do a straight breath weapon. Are you gonna ignite it?
Snap my fingers as and all.
Okay. So you all watch as Yaki opens his mouth, and instead of fire that you've heard Golden Dragonborns can breathe, instead a plume of green gas comes out, and just floods the area in front of him in a large area. He then holds up his gloved fingers, and snaps his fingers, and there's a spark, and it ignites the gas, and just fire spreads through the corner of the room. Roll damage for that. I believe it's just and everything. What is it?
I should
Just
have.
click. It's in your attacks and things.
I don't believe it's in my attacks, and I've clicked on that, and it's not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have to roll 2d6.
Yes, no, it's not in your attacks, is it? Right, I'll quickly look up what saving throw I have to do.
I believe it's dexterity.
Okay, against what?
Is there a cat?
Yes, it's my cat.
Oh.
Being very noisy.
Right, that's 2d6.
Okay, whatever it is, it doesn't succeed in the saving throw, and it just takes the full force of this fire that rips through it. You don't see any silhouette or anything. It's just this fire just billows through this area of air. But something again seems to thud against the wall and move around a bit, impacting the wall. So
We're fighting air.
Or it's something...
if you want to make
No.
an Arcana check, to see if you know what this is.
I'll make an Arcana check.
No, I have no idea.
Nope, no idea.
This is very thick air.
Come on, decent
Oh.
roll. Why
Oh my
are you so
God.
bad?
Yeah.
Nope, no idea.
I might
I'll
have to help them out.
use the rest just of my turn just to move
Okay.
more into the room.
Gabriel, you've heard of things like this. Air elementals summoned into being by magic users, specifically usually wizards or sorcerers, to do their bidding, and bound to the material plane or a plane of existence, so that they would be a servant. Usually malignant in nature. These beings were called invisible stalkers. They would usually be sent to retrieve a person, an item, or to kill people. They're excellent assassins who are undetectable visibly and are excellent at killing people. Usually
Oh dear.
by throwing them against walls and buffeting them to
So that
death.
we all know it.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
I'll shout.
Gabriel, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shout. It's an air elemental. I have just realised. But don't worry, because I've dealt with many of these, serving the celestial plane. Yeah. Wait. I'm gonna just wait. If I blow my smoking pipe thing,
Yeah.
will
I'm going to
it
say now,
form?
that has no attack properties.
No, but like, will it form? Will it show where they are? Like, make more
an
smoke.
intelligence check.
Why don't you make a lady error?
First air element.
You think that you could do it in such a way that it could do it, that you could reveal where this thing is, but you would have to constantly be just putting smoke into wherever this thing is, and it's invisible. Hence the name.
Okay.
You currently know where it is, but yeah, and you think it would disperse the smoke after a little while, but yeah.
Well, if I currently know where it is, I'm just gonna using a magic missile
Okay. Magic missile it is then.
from. Wait, I'm gonna also move out of the room a little bit and make sure I can still see Dolores.
Dolores has now woken up and she's kind of stood in the doorway looking kind of worried. Let me move her. She's kind of like, what's going on?
Just as I'm firing a magic missile, I'm gonna say that we're under attack.
Okay, so that's 12 points of damage. Okay, and I'd like you to roll a d20, please.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember, it's any number between 1 and 5. Just. Nothing happens. You managed to keep your wild magic under control. Okay, then. You feel... So, you watch, Gabriel, as these beads of blue light just kind of whiz through the air and impact and whiz into the room. Everybody else, you can see it. These beads of energy strike into the corner of the room against something, and bolts of electric blue lightning just kind of just strike through something formless in the corner of the room. Okay, its turn. Who did the most damage?
I'm guessing me.
Okay, it is going to... No, I'd say it's focused on you. It's going to... Frederick... no. Let me just check something. Okay. Frederick, you feel wind buffet around underneath the bed. It's not going to be able to do as well, and it's going to be at disadvantage, but it's trying to attack you underneath the bed. That's okay. That it doesn't manage to get you. It just kind of, you feel wind buffeting around underneath the bed, but it isn't able to get you. You manage to just hold on to the bed and stay sturdy. Next up, Frederick, it's your go.
Right. Do I know?
Pardon, sorry?
What?
I didn't hear what you just said.
Can this thing talk?
You keep on cutting out, I'm sorry.
Can this thing talk?
You don't know.
Right. Well, I am going to try. I am going to cast detect thought because then I usually know what it wants to say and it's not true.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and detect and ask who sent you.
Okay, so detect thoughts. Okay.
Yes.
So can you click on that so I can see what that does? See how long it is. Okay, that's a big block of text. Okay. You can't cast detect thoughts, and instantly the surface thoughts of this invisible stalker come to mind. He says, Frederick, Shouter, Jaci, Gabriel. Frederick, Shouter, Jaci, Gabriel. Kill. Frederick, Shouter, Jaci, Gabriel. Kill. Just over and over again. This is the same sort of mantra.
Well, this is going to go well.
So the who sent you does not.
They don't know me. Why?
It doesn't seem to give a response to that. You can push deeper on future turns, I think it is.
Okay.
See if you can learn a little bit more. But for now,
Okay.
I think that's as an action, yeah. So you've already used your action.
Sorry, you're done.
That's do I get bonus?
You have bonus action and you have your movement.
Right. I am going to throw my dancing.
Okay. I assume it's by your bed or something by your rucksack, and you just kind of grab it and throw it. Into the air flies longsword. Let's give you a contrasting colour. There you go. Oh, it's on the wrong layer. Okay, token layer. There you go. The amazing flying longsword. Woo! It's currently just hovering in the air. I'd say you can attack with it this turn if you wanted to.
Yes.
Okay, roll an attack for it then. See if you hit. The sword swings wildly through the air, but you're not quite sure where to hit this quite as well. And this is the first time you've used this weapon. It's kind of getting used to it. Okay, moving forward. Shouter, it is your go.
Alright, I'm going to. I probably shouldn't swing blindly again, but that's the only thing I can really do.
I'd say you'd know it's roughly
I'm gonna-
below you. If it's attacking Frederick, you'd be able to feel the bed moving, because if you stood on the bed. So I'd say you'd know it's roughly
I'm going
below.
to swing my battle axe underneath the bed,
Okay.
jump off the bed,
Make an attack.
turn around,
Make an attack with your
Yeah.
longsword. With your battle axe, rather.
battle axe.
Battle axe.
Right!
That does not hit.
Yep.
It manages to swerve out of your reach. Anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think I can hit again, can I?
Nope. Is there anything you'd like to do with your bonus action?
I'm just going to stay there.
Okay. Moving forward. Jaci, it is your go.
Excellent. 2 questions.
Yep.
Is the window still open?
No, it's closed.
How big is the window?
About the same size as it's not very big. It's about twice the size of a computer screen. Small.
Right. If I dive through it, could I smash through and get outside?
Yes, but you're a couple of floors up, so you'd fall.
And then grab hold of the cloak and
Sure.
flap.
Yeah.
This is going to go so badly, and I'm going to fall to my
Okay,
death.
make a athletics check if you're going to do this.
Right.
God, what is it with us jumping out of windows?
It's great. I love it.
Ugh!
You throw yourself at the window. You just kind of clatter against the side of it. You just you don't take any damage, but it does wind you slightly.
Window, miss and hit the wall.
Just trip
I
over
just
the
throw myself at a wall.
Your
don't
bulky
I?
shoulders just cut. You throw yourself at an angle, and your shoulders hit against the window frame. Just doof. Yeah.
Do you land on top of
Oh
Frederick?
dear.
No, you land where you
No,
are. You
Frederick's
kind of,
under the bed.
you kind of land awkwardly on top of the bedside table, kind of crushing it slightly. But yeah. No. Anything else you would like to do with your turn? I'll take that as your movement.
No.
Okay. No. Okay, Gabriel, it is your go.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to attack it again.
You know roughly where it is still. Still roughly around the bed area.
See, there's something really good that I could do, but it would like hurt everyone, not just
Do it.
it.
Let the hatred flow through you.
Oh no, wait, I think I can concentrate it. Give me like 2 seconds.
I have a.
No, it really wouldn't.
Hey, I'm full of that. Yes.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
No, I think. Okay, this is 2 different things. I'll have to get that with you later. Okay. Wait. Instead, I'm going to use. I'm gonna go back towards the room.
Okay.
And I'm going to use poison spray
Okay.
in the general direction of it.
Sure. Go for it. Click on poison spray. Okay, it failed its check and takes 4 points of damage. Ouch. As it's weird. These globules of acid and poison just kind of fly through the air, and just as they hit this denser area where this elemental is, they just kind of slow slightly and get caught up in it and whipped around.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I could do anything for bonus action.
No? Okay.
No.
Right. So that's the end of your go. It is its turn. Okay. It is... Let's see, who did the most damage? This time it was you. So Gabriel, you this time feel the wind... Shouter, from between your legs and up over you towards Gabriel, you feel the wind buffet around. Oh dear, I'm moving the wrong person there. It kind of buffets up, and you now feel, Gabriel, this strong wind around you. It's going to try and attack you. What is your armor class?
Give me a second. 12.
Okay, it hits. You take...
Most
11
of my-
points of bludgeoning damage as you're just slammed against the floor and then lifted up again.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a great reaction.
Frederick, it is your go.
Where did I get something? Oh.
Frederick.
I am going to climb deeper force. I'm going to say again. Who sent
Okay, so you're trying to force deeper? You keep on cutting out, I'm sorry, so what are you trying to do?
Yeah, she's trying to.
I'm trying to work out. Like, yeah, I'm trying to
Okay, so you're trying to probe deeper into its thoughts. Okay, so that's a wisdom saving throw. It fails that. Okay, so you managed to force your way deeper into its mind. Let me see.
Who sent it?
You get flashes. There's no words this deep down. You're now going down deep into its primal nature. You see flashes of a room of a woman with ginger hair, of a scarf made of purple and grey wool, a room with a summoning circle in the center of trails of wax on the ground, and that's it.
Who's got ginger hair?
Charlie. Charlie had a scarf as well, didn't she? Can't remember what it was though.
She didn't have a scarf, but a certain lawyer did.
I am going to attack it again.
Okay, so you're using the sword?
Yeah, which
That's a bonus action.
Yep, so that's fine. Okay, so you move it up. I'm guessing you know roughly where it is, so yep. Attack with it. That's a 9. That sadly doesn't miss. Again, you're trying to control it mentally, and you're trying not to hit Gabriel, who you've only.
I still haven't got used to it yet.
No, it's weird trying to control this thing with your mind, trying to imagine the sword movements, the parries, and everything. Okay, Shouter, it's your go then.
Is there anywhere I could like run to the lawyer's office and try and stop them there?
That is
'Cause they're controlling.
long run. That's a long run.
All right.
That's a
Never
long
mind.
way.
Whereabouts is it now? The wind
You reckon it's you just saw it attack Gabriel, so you assume it's right near you.
I don't really want to swing and then hit Gabriel.
I wouldn't let that happen. Don't worry.
Alright, I'm gonna swing blindly again.
Okay.
In the general direction of it without hitting Gabriel.
Make an attack roll. That hits.
Hey.
Roll damage.
Woo!
Okay, so that's 13.
Damage on that axe. So confusing.
Okay, again, you feel it pass through some denser patch of air. It doesn't feel like it hits anything, but it definitely does some damage, and it kind of recoils. Gabriel dropping slightly out of the air. Okay, that's that. Anything else you would like to do?
I'm gonna move past Gabriel out of the room a bit.
Okay.
Like there. Okay, I'm done now.
Sure. Okay, moving forward, and it's Jaci's turn.
Can I have another go at trying to jump out the window?
Sure, make another athletics check.
I've got to get a good roll at some point.
I
I haven't had a single.
Again, you slam against the window, and it just bounds back. You crack the window slightly, I'd say that.
Yay!
Turns out to be a bulletproof
Why don't you
window.
shoot the window first and then jump out of it?
That's what I did.
I'm tempted to just open the window and fall out.
Just go, fine, whatever, go. Okay, anything else you'd like to do?
Can I open the window?
Sure. You open the window. It's a bit cramped, but you might be able to squeeze through.
Do I suppose I don't have time to crawl out, do I?
No, not now.
Okay.
Sorry.
I won't do anything else then.
Okay, no, okay.
I shall
Gabriel,
mentally
it is
prepare
your go.
myself.
You're currently slightly suspended in midair as this thing's buffeting around you still.
Okay. Well, I'm going to open up my portable hole and try and trap it in the hole.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
How are you
And then-
doing this exactly?
Put it upside down.
Yeah,
Okay.
that. Just
Make
putting it upside down and swishing it around, trying to catch it like a net.
okay. Make a either acrobatics or athletics. It's up to you. Athletic. Okay, that kind of check.
Acrobatics. Oh, I'm good at athletics. I'll do that one.
You try and open up the this bit of fabric, and it almost slips out of your hand, but you grab it, but you can't manage. You don't manage to get it open all the way.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do? You've got bonus action and movement.
I'm not sure I can move while I'm suspended in midair.
Okay.
You're
only an inch off the floor, so you could move. It'd just be a little bit difficult for the start.
I'm just gonna swim through the air.
Doggy paddle it. Whee! Okay. So,
Gonna try.
is that the end of your turn, or are you going to move?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay. Its turn. Okay. Gabriel, you feel your feet plant firmly back onto the floor again as you feel the wind move next to you onto Shouter. Shouter, suddenly your clothing is whipping around you and it's jerking you left and right, and you feel it try and lift you up and slam you on the floor again. That is an actual one. It's completely failed. It's kind of, you hear, so it's all vague semblances of language. He comes through the whirling of the wind. Completely, you don't understand it at all, but it just, it's there. Some semblance of a language. It's just rushing around you. It can't seem to do anything to you. Okay, that's its go. Frederick, your go.
I am ready.
Vicious Mockery, okay. It fails its Vicious Mockery and it takes 3 points of damage. It's starting to look a little bit. Shouter, as it's whipping around you, you feel as it as the spiteful words sink in. You feel the wind kind of slacken slightly, and it seems to be getting a little bit weaker. Okay, so that is Frederick. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna try and prize it. No. Yeah.
That doesn't hit again. It's swinging through the air. We've got one more round left before the sword will return to you. You have to rethrow it. Shouter, it is your go.
Alright. So where is it now? Is it like
It's around you.
near me?
You can feel it
around
buffeting
me.
around you. Slightly weaker than it was before, but still buffeting around you.
I think I have 2 hand axes. So could I like hit with those 2
Sure.
at the same time?
I still haven't looked at the rules for two-handed weapons, but yeah, sure.
Do I roll twice or just once?
Roll twice, yeah. That hits.
I believe you don't add your modifier onto one of them.
So that comes... Okay, so again, you swing through the air, you feel it slow down as it passes through a denser patch, dealing some damage. For the second one. That does not hit, though. It manages to swirl out the way. Okay. Jaci, it's your go. The window is now open.
Whereabouts is it at the minute?
It's
Where
swirling
the
around
yellow box
Shouter.
is.
You can see it just kind of tugging at elements of Shouter's clothing.
Is it
No,
the
I'm
yellow
not gonna
box
risk it.
thing?
I'm just gonna crawl out the window and grab the sides of my cloak.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check.
Now I get to make an acrobatics
Well, this
check.
time you're trying to tumble through the air and grab things at the same time. Athletics is when you try to
Please.
smash things.
Please fail, please
not-
fail.
For God's sake! I have had one
You
roll
get
more than
stuck out of the window. You're stuck halfway through the window. Your legs are kicking in midair at this point. You just kind of can't quite get out of the window.
I've had one roll today that's been more than 10.
You can see
One.
down into an alleyway
By
beside the
looks of it,
building.
You've had one too many rolls. You got stuck in the window.
Can I use my action surge and then kind of flop like a fish?
Sure, I will allow it.
What am I making for flop like a fish?
Again, acrobatics. If you can just kind of wiggle through. You watch you get a natural 20.
Well, acrobatics.
Yep.
I'm not like a fish. Does he actually do like an amazing?
He turns into a fish.
Okay.
Finally.
Like a grape, you go firing out of the window. You tumble through and grab the corners of your cloak and begin flapping, rising back up to the level of the window. You are now outside. I don't know what your plan is.
Yay.
I don't know what your plan is from here, but okay. That is your go, unless you want to move anywhere.
I want to start heading in the direction of the lawyers.
Okay.
Was that your plan?
That's still, even with flying, that is a long way. Just so you're aware.
Well, I was hoping the person would be just outside.
Make an investigation check then. Just quickly. A quick investigation check. Can't see
Nah.
you can't see anybody looking suspicious outside.
Okay. I shall head in the direction of the...
Okay. It'll take a couple of rounds to get there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Gabriel, it's your go. You
Okay.
can see it tugging at parts of Shouter's clothing still. It's still swirling around her.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and trap it in portable hole again.
Okay, you're gonna put it over. Okay, go for it. Make a athletics check.
Okay.
You may. Okay. Right. How do you do this? Are you just gonna put both Shouter and it into the hole, or are you gonna try and just get it?
I'm gonna try not to get Shouter in the hole.
Okay, I'd say you kind of just kick Shouter in the middle of the chest, and she just stumbles backwards, kind of off balance
How
because of
rude.
the wind. And you throw this. You throw the portable hole down over the air, and suddenly the wind stops. The sound of rushing wind stops. You feel it stop.
I'm now
It's gonna
gonna.
try and very quickly just. Nope, can't get out. You feel it trying. You feel it buffet. You holding the hole, you can feel it buffeting around, and you feel yourself it trying to lift the corners and get out, but it can't do it.
Well, I'm just gonna leave it there for a bit.
Just hold it up.
Yeah, I might fold it up. I'll see if it can get out. I'll fold it up.
Okay. You fold up. You have a piece of cloth with a air elemental in it. A very angry air elemental.
But won't survive for long.
Well, it
Let me just check something.
might not die.
Make an Arcana check to see what you know. Make either an Arcana or a Nature check to see what you know about air elementals.
Can I do the same?
Sure.
Wait, Arcana or nature? They're both.
It's fine. It should be. It's just not. It's gonna die. Meanwhile, who else is making a check? You have your doubts, Frederick.
Cool.
Oh,
Shouter, you've dealt with air elementals in the past. They are a sneaky tactic by enemies. You know that air elementals are the perfect soldier because they do not need to eat, they do not need to sleep, they do not need to breathe, they do not need or anything. They don't need food, sustenance of any kind. So it will most likely survive in there forever. And even as you do, even as you're holding this Gabriel, you can feel the cloth shuddering as you feel it trying to escape. But yeah, you
Thank
defeated
you.
it. And Jaci, you are still currently outside, so I'm just gonna move you over here.
Well, when you say we've defeated it,
Well, you've overcome the challenge.
We
in a
put it in a
creative way.
bag.
yeah.
What if we
So
go and find? What if we
Can
go
we
and find
train?
Charlie and go find Charlie and Ben and release it in their room and then run away?
No, because it's trying to kill us.
and I'm very sorry to say, but with that victory, we're gonna have to leave it there for this evening because I need to go and deal with dinner. So, sorry, I'm really
That
sorry.
was a lot of fun,
It
Sam.
was. If you tell, I know you're not going to be here next week, Adam. So if you just tell me what your plan is, what you would do in certain situations, I can then do my best.
Tell us exactly what you're going to do right now.
I don't know. I'll have to have a think.
I'm sorry you didn't get to use your cool things, but yeah.
No.
So, yes, hopefully we'll be back to doing. We should be back to doing this on Thursday next week. Hopefully, let me just check. Am I working next Thursday?
There's a slight chance I might be, and then in the evening
Well,
I'm leaving. I
well-
don't know what time I'm leaving.
I'm working from 11 till 6 next Thursday.
Never
So yeah,
mind.
we'll be doing it on a different day. We'll sort that out later though. Yes, it did go very well actually. So
Yeah,
yes.
I'm glad I barged through the door and asked Frederick what happened.
Yes, didn't come across anything odd or ugh. So yes, thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for watching, and we will hopefully see you at some point next week. I will stay tuned for things being updated and everything. Congratulations on defeating the toughest enemy I've thrown at you so far. So
Woo.
Not tougher than the battle.
If in doubt, throw it in a bag.
If in doubt, hide it.
but effectively what you've done, you've thrown a towel over it, just like
So, one of you is going to forget about that, and then in like 3 weeks' time, we're going to be, oh, let's put it in the bag. Opens the bag. Battle music starts.
dun, 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 dun. Dun.
Gabriel suddenly remembers he put the air elemental in it. Oh. Yeah.
Well, so yes, I suppose I better close this off properly. So, thank you very much for watching. You'll be able to find, you'll be able to contact if you have any questions or anything. You can find me on Twitter at SnailCreature. This episode will be going up on the YouTube channel, which is also SnailCreature. Please consider donating if you haven't already. We are literally £5 off from hitting our £500 target. I know it's not what it says on Just Giving, but it's true. I just need to put some of the cash I've collected onto the website. So yes, please consider donating if you haven't already, and we'll see you. Well, most of us will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.